Sitting in the morning sun and watching all the birds passing by. Oh, how sweet they sing, and oh, how much I wish that I could fly. And I really try, but I got to pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. I got to pick myself up over and over, and dust myself off, and start all over again.
As Baltimore's race for the mayor heats up, former homicide lieutenant Al Giardello is scheduled for a press conference this morning at the Inner Harbor. He'll be joined by current Mayor Kurt Schmoke. The joint appearance signals an important endorsement for Giardello.
So, how does it feel to be the favorite going into the last week of the campaign?
It ain't over till it's over.
Well, the polls show you 12 points ahead of your opponent, Barbara Gessner. The fat lady is already taking her curtain call, don't you think?
One thing I've learned working the homicide unit, never assume anything.
Give me $1. $1 something. Grab it, guy. Give me the $1.
Your recent statement that if elected, you'd push to legalize drugs. Do you think this is the issue that has set your campaign apart from your rivals?
Look, substance abuse is a health issue. I know what drugs have done to this city. Educate. Don't
But don't you think
All right,
that...
that's all for now. Everybody just please step back, please.
Meldrick, I will partner with you anytime, any place. When it comes to a crime, but I'm not investing in your bar, no way.
Come on, Falzone. You can see for yourself that the waterfront is a money-making proposition, man. It's a cash cow, a veritable green machine.
Yeah? So why are you so anxious to cut me a slice?
Because my other so-called partners are way too silent. Munch is up in New York looking for fame and glory, and Bayless is taking a semi-permanent leave of his senses.
So you need someone to do all the work?
Hey, all I'm asking, Falzone, is just to give it a couple minutes of your very, very valuable time. Just examine the concept. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, officer.
Gentlemen.
Mike Giardello. As I live and as I breathe. I heard you traded the Bureau for a beat.
Working on my detective shield.
You love a man in uniform. Check you out. Your pop's out there stumping for mayor, and you're back here having yourself a little yard sale.
Oh, it's been a real media circus. Every time I open the front door, it's like candid camera.
Hey, Alan Funt was a great American, okay? And I took his passing very, very personally.
So what we got here?
Local dealer, shot in the head, been dead about a day.
Does our deadhead have a name?
Joseph Hardwick, a.k.a. Yin Yang.
Yin Yang? Looks like he yang when he should have yang.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Dispatch this radio. They want you downtown pronto.
What's up?
Your father has been shot.
Searchlights on the skyline, just looking for a friend. Who's gonna love my baby when she's gone around the bend? Egyptian bells are ringing when it's her birthday. Someone calling her name. It's driving you insane. You were wearing that stained raincoat and your umbrella was a tangled mess. You were washed up on the glittering shores, looking for another crime to confess. You brought yourself out of the place in the sun, but you had some change to spare. So you said you wanna spend it on me and shook the blues out of your hair. Ooh, such a beautiful way to break your heart.
The question remains, is it possible to find a rule of conduct outside the realm of religion and its absolute value? The answer is no. All people in a community, even those without formal religion, formal absolute values, formal spirituality, always construct their own.
Mayoral candidate Al Giardello was making a campaign appearance early this morning when he was shot by an unidentified assailant. Giardello was rushed here to Church Home and Hospital, where he is now undergoing emergency surgery. His condition is listed as critical. Here is his son, Officer Michael Giardello. Perhaps we'll be able to get a word with him. Officer Giardello.
I have nothing to say. I don't know anything. I don't have any.
Well, tell me this. How do you feel?
How do you think I feel? Get out of my face!
Officer Giardello, understandably distraught about this tragic turn of events.
How's my father?
He was shot in the abdomen, maybe more than once. Is he gonna make it? He just went into surgery.
As soon as there's any news, you'll be the first to know, I promise you. No.
Maybe we should go to the hospital.
Hey, G wouldn't want us keeping vigil. He want us out there in the block looking for the Ebola. What did this?
What about Joseph Yang Hardwick?
Who?
A day-old dead drug dealer.
Now, he'll keep.
Oh, look who's back from Oblivion.
Hey, you find the shooter?
Nah, we waiting on you.
Oh, well, I'm here to help.
Sabbatical's over?
Yeah, for now.
That's weird, ain't it?
What's that?
He just packs up his desk, doesn't say nothing, and nobody just splits.
Had things to think about. Issues.
That's the thing about you, Bayless. You always did have issues.
We gonna stand here yapping?
Step back. Any comments?
Frank.
All right, some of you came to homicide after Al Giardello left. Some of you worked alongside him, like Kay Howard, now in the fugitive squad, Tim Bayless, been on a leave of absence, Frank Pembleton retired a couple of years ago.
But you're the almighty Pembleton. We've all heard the stories.
Can we get on with this?
Yep. Okay, we got a homeless man, won't give us his name. He grabbed Giardello just before the shooting.
We swabbed his hands for gunpowder residue. He's clean. As soon as uniforms bring him up, I'm gonna interview him and find out what he saw.
We talked to everybody at the rally and all the vendors, and we brought in a few witnesses for further questioning.
And this event was covered by the press, right?
Oh, way ahead of you, Frank. We've already requested video footage from the local news stations. Stivers and Ballard, I need you to collect those cassettes.
Sure.
Lots of witnesses. What about suspects?
G's campaign for mayor knocked some noses out of joint. Made him a few enemies.
Couple with the ones he already had.
I'm up.
All right, Howard, Bayless, I want you researching G's past. Give me everything on anybody he ever tangled with.
How far back?
To his rookie days, if you need to. Pembleton, Lewis, Falzone. Make me a list of people that he's pissed off on the campaign trail.
A list? Well, I didn't come here to make lists.
Frank. Just like old times. Okay, we meet back in an hour.
I caught a bullet on a job myself, you know? Bullet in the brain. Stanley Bolander. Used to work for you, Dad.
Thanks for coming.
I had to, didn't I? Your dad, when I was shot, he was, what's the word? Tenacious.
Yeah, he is that.
Not like he sent me flowers or anything like that, no. But he was a pit bull. He wouldn't let go. They caught the bastard who did it.
Mikey.
No.
This is terrible. What's new?
Ain't nothing. They told me nothing.
Madonna Santa ci aiuta. Chiama fortuna.
Hey, here's one of G's from 82. Looks promising.
Very blue. You never told me the squad room was this blue.
Sure I did.
Never, not this shade.
No, huh?
This is excessively blue. Azure. Cobalt. Cerulean. Except the board. All these open cases. Too much red. Hurts my eyes, seeing spots. What?
Nothing.
No, something. Well, what's this, Ryland? Is this one of your, open...
No. That Stone Cold sucker is mine, Frank. Luke Ryland snuffed 2 women live on the internet. Named Baltimore Ben, but Balto less. Got off on a technicality. Next day they found him, curbside, laying there, 44 slug in the back of his head.
You got a suspect?
Not a one. Nuh-uh. Whoever did the deed knew how to execute an execution.
And this sordid little tale makes you jumpy because...
No, Frank. Doesn't make me jumpy.
Oh, come on. You're jumpy. I know you.
No. You know something? You don't know me. Things change, Frank. People, they change.
Kid's still there in the interview room with the homeless guy, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Taking way too much time.
Yeah.
name. I know you do.
Give me $1.
You know, I got 100 eyeballs. Saw you assault Al Giardello. And you saw who shot him, didn't you? Didn't you?
I want $1. I gotta get something to eat. Come on! This is a measly little $1. That's so much to ask.
You know what? I am really losing my patience with you. You know, I was gonna give you a number 2 beating, but you have worked, and you've earned yourself a number 1. Now I'm gonna beat your balls until you tell me what I want to know. This does not reflect my command.
I thought you were in charge here, Lieutenant Gordon.
You better go help your man.
Whoa! Damn! This is gonna cost you, buddy. Okay. This is gonna cost you. Okay. You okay, mister? See him come at me? Huh? Why you came at me?
Whoa!
All right! Sit down. Sit down. Big. Sit down. Come on, sit down. What are you two doing in here?
What's this?
Hey, I'm in the middle of something here.
$1. You asked for $1?
Yeah, I asked for $1.
I heard you.
I know you guys are legends, but this is my interview.
Shut up.
What? Excuse me?
I said, shut the hell up.
Me out?
Yeah, grab a coffee.
This ain't right.
Grab me one, too. Milk, 2 sugars. Oh, he's a feisty little guy, isn't he? I'll be right in there if you need me.
Tell me what's going on.
Really sorry, sir, but I don't know what's going on.
Well, then find me someone who does.
Hey, Mike.
It's been hours. I can't get any real information from anybody.
You know something? The hospital's got to cover its ass just like everybody else. You want to know something else? The minute that he's out of surgery, I'm sure they'll be telling you exactly what they did and handing you an itemized bill.
Yeah.
Huh. Look, they're replaying that little clip of you pushing Helen Lucatus' ass over tea kettle.
Great.
Made the national news. Al would be proud.
You know, I can't believe you were my father's boss.
For a while. But I was also his equal and his underling. Guess you might say I know all sides of the man.
I wish I did. I used to be FBI liaison with the department. Took the job to be closer to him, make amends, maybe put to rest some anger and resentment we have for each other.
But that didn't happen.
If anything, working together made things worse.
You pimped us. Oh, man. He gave everything you told him to the independent counsel's office.
Well, how was I to know?
We were always stepping on each other's toes. So, I quit. Started over as a Balto uniform, bottom of the totem pole. I don't know if any of it made any difference to my dad. If he even noticed. You wouldn't hurt anybody, would you?
No.
You wouldn't hurt anybody because it's not in you. Al Giardello wouldn't hurt anybody either. It's not in him. You and he, you got a lot in common.
That's why I asked him for $1. I knew he'd understand.
What's your name?
You ain't got an address, well, you need a name for. Post office can't find me. Why should it matter if I have a name?
Okay, well, we don't need to know your name. What we need to know is if you saw who hurt Al Giardello.
You got $1.
$1?
I'm jonesing for a Hershey bar.
I just gave you $1.
I'm asking him.
What did you see at the Inner Harbor today?
I'm a fiend for chocolate.
Didn't I just give you $1? Didn't I?
Yeah.
So now you gonna play me for the fool?
If I give you $1, will you tell us what you saw today?
I'm the fool, right? I gave you $1, and now what? Huh? No. Put that away. I'm here out of concern for a good person. Somebody means a lot to me. Means a lot to this city. And what, now, you think this is some kind of deal where you're gonna use my concern to mooch money? Because you think that you're the key to the puzzle? You're holding all the vital info, so yeah, screw me. And screw him. And screw Al Giardello. Do you think you mean anything to anybody? Anything to this city?
No.
But I'm here. I'm extending you my kindness. I give you what you want out of goodwill. And it's not about the money. It's not about $1. Because if you ask me for 10, I'll give you 10. And 100, you got it. I'm respecting you. But you're going to sit there and piss on me. I'm going to send you to hell, mister. I ain't got a name, so feel sorry for my mooching ass. I'm jonesing for Hershey bar. I'm jonesing for
The guy that I see is in his late
I'm a fiend
40s,
for
early
chocolate.
50s, maybe.
Jonesing for that Hershey bar.
Of the Negro persuasion.
The guy is black. Uh-huh. What's he look like? How tall is he?
He's nearly as tall as me. Got gray sidewalls. His hair, sideburns. And he's got a gun. One of them black guns go pop, pop, pop.
An automatic.
I don't know.
Okay, so he shoots this gun. Pop, pop, pop. Then what? What happens then? Where does he go?
He just disappears. He gets swallowed up in the crowd. I got scared. I was just trying to get out of there. And then the cops grabbed me up. Can I have that other $1 now?
Giardello is still in surgery at this hour. Meanwhile, police have intensified their investigation, interviewing literally hundreds of witnesses. We'll have more after this.
I'd like to give you the tape, but I can't.
Okay, well then we'll get a subpoena.
No, you don't understand. I can't. There was some kind of technical glitch with our camera.
Glitch?
All I got is stuff leading up to the gunshots, then the camera dies. We're the only station in town that didn't have footage of the actual shooting. And believe me, I'm not happy losing out on the biggest news story of the year.
I'm crying big crocodile tears. Give us what you've got.
Okay, we're back in town. So you're living in St. Michael's now, huh?
Yeah, play a little golf. Practice cello.
Hey, retirement agrees with you. You got the healthy pink glow.
That's high blood pressure. I'm on a 0 sodium diet. 0 as in none, as in I can't even go down the ocean, taking a sea breeze. You know how bland life is without salt?
I was under the impression that you were still in Balto.
No.
That you refused to answer my calls out of some misdirected spite.
I have never missed whatever in my spite.
I got married again.
What, number 4?
Yeah, jeez. We're getting divorced.
Jeez, John.
I like this. This is great. You and I prowling the streets of Baltimore.
I have never prowled the streets of anywhere with you, all right? Don't start agitating me much. Come on, watch
What's the status? Step back. Step back.
Stop it there.
What are you looking at, Stan?
Oh, well, you see this guy right here? He's right on the edge of the stage. His body language, it doesn't look right.
I can't see anything.
You're looking for a gun. At this angle, you can't even see his hands.
All we need is to enhance the tape.
Yeah, send a copy to the state police lab.
Lieutenant,
Captain.
My, look at this. Sergeant Howard, Frank Pembleton, Munch, Bayless, even the big man. All the old boys and girls gathered again. Everybody palsy-walsy. You interrupted one of my detectives in the course of interviewing a witness?
I was giving him some relief.
Relief, my ass. Just wanted to show him who's boss. That's your game.
Sir.
But now I'm going to show you who's boss. I order you to apologize to Detective Hall.
Apologize?
Bobby? Go ahead.
I apologize.
No problem. Now, what the hell are all of you doing in here?
We came to help.
This is your call? What are you, desperate?
No, for G, we come on our own.
Truly noble. Get your ass in gear, Guardy. I want this Giardello shooting down today.
That's what we all want, Gaffney.
This is police business. You're not a cop anymore, is that right, Frank?
That's correct.
Then get lost.
Okay, sure. Fine.
Me too, then.
No, Bolander. You can stay. That's the beauty of power. It's arbitrary. I have a press conference at 2 o'clock. I better have some startling new revelations to tell the media.
Somebody open a window.
That won't do any good. That's ode to Gaffney. Lingers for days.
Frank?
Oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to say anything.
Well, if we get anywhere, I'll keep you posted.
Fine, fine. Give me a ring.
Frank, wait. You're just gonna leave?
Yes, and you're coming with me.
Where?
Well, if the bosses won't let us investigate officially, we'll do one on our own.
Unofficially.
A citizens' brigade. Okay, let's start with the crime scene. Excuse me.
We've got 15 different descriptions of a possible shooter from 25 different witnesses.
Some say he's black, some say white. Some say he's in his 20s, others in his 60s.
Yeah, well, they all agree that the shooter's a man, right?
Well, actually, a few of them think that maybe he's a woman.
Yeah, I say it's a conspiracy. This guy that G's running against for mayor, what's his name, Gessner, he sees he's going to get his ass kicked, so he decides to take action, so he hires an assassin, like in the Manchurian Candidate.
What did I say about agitating Munch?
I'm going to check out the widow of Raymond DeSassy.
What, the guy G shot?
G shot someone?
Yeah, 3 years ago, Kevin Lugo, big shock radio personality.
I remember he got whacked in the Mount Washington parking lot.
Yeah, we get a tip Raymond DeSassy is the murderer. G and I go to the house. DeSassy draws a weapon. G shoots him dead. Turns out our tip was from Raymond DeSassy's best friend. Called it in as a practical joke. DeSassy's wife was pretty bitter about the whole thing.
Hey, Howard, Mrs. DeSassy it is. Hey, you need backup?
Sure.
Stivers, Bauer, take the videotapes to the state lab, study every frame. Lewis, stop by the courthouse, grab Shepard, and go talk to Carl Miller.
Carl Miller? The pride of the Aryan nation.
Yeah, he's been beating the drums trying to start a race war over G's drug policy. If you're volunteering, how about calling on John Coleman?
Whatever you need, Lieutenant.
Who's John Coleman?
There's a mass suicide at the African Revival Movement.
Yeah, I saw it on the news.
Yeah, QRT storms the place, finds 16 bodies, poison, a real Jonestown, not like the other one where the CIA and the military whacked those people.
Coleman's taken over as the head honcho of the movement.
So, we talked to him.
You know, I say black nationalists and two whiter shades of pale detectives don't exactly interface. You catch my drift?
Well, if you got a problem with it, Munch, make it easy on yourself. There's an Amtrak back to the Big Apple every hour. Stan, you know where the African Revival Movement building is?
If it's in Balto, I can find it.
What do you want me to do, LT?
Check the 800 tip line. Okay, we got 48 hours to catch this guy. Any longer than that, the odds get longer, and you know what hits the fan. All right? We're a team. Let's go. Let's catch this bastard.
You could handle this better, Stewie.
Are you coming, Detective Munch?
Yeah, but I'm driving. You know I like to drive as long as you don't smoke with the windows closed.
We're
with that
gonna
cigar.
smoke.
What, you know the
I've got a cigar to speak.
Oh, man. Here we go again.
Mrs. Giardello, any word on his condition?
Excuse me. I'm sorry, do you mind?
Any ideas?
Hey! Leave her alone! Leave her alone! What are you doing with me up here anyway? Leave us the hell alone!
We're doing our job, okay?
No excuse.
Pressure's 90/60. Heart rate's up to 120.
That's the second one. Big sucker. Let me see the X-ray. Suction, please. We need to clean up these rib slivers.
So, how was that for you, Frank, being back in that squad room?
Strange.
So many things have changed.
Well, the color of the doors and the floors maybe, but room's the same, works the same.
Yeah, I guess that'll never be different.
What bothered me the most was not seeing G there, you know? Having him charging out of his office like a water buffalo. As a matter of fact, the last conversation we ever had was over your hospital bed. After you took the bullet for me.
My partner's down! My partner's been shot! Somebody!
But really, it wasn't him I was angry at. It was the whole, bloody business.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him since that day. And now here it is. I may never get the chance to speak to him again.
Well, Frank, why don't we just stop by the hospital now, huh?
He's in surgery. Besides, I can do more for the man out here on the street.
He didn't hate you, Frank. And he knows you didn't hate him.
Yeah, but I handed him my badge. He hated that.
You're not upset about the shooting of Al Giardello?
Upset? Yes, but not surprised. There's a long tradition in this country of shooting black men who speak the truth.
We got a witness who says that the would-be assassin was black.
A black assassin? How convenient. The white man can always find a race traitor to do his dirty work.
There are those who blame Al Giardello for what happened in this building 3 years ago. There are some who say he's responsible for those 16 suicides.
You think I would want revenge?
Well, maybe some of your followers.
Which you see where? This movement was destroyed that day.
So this morning at about 8:15...
Was I at the Inner Harbor? No.
Got anybody who can vouch for your whereabouts?
I was here.
Okay, what about somebody to back you up then?
Yes. They'll tell you that I was at my desk, working.
Working? Said you had no following.
I'm going to be interviewed this week on the radio. The Mark Steiner Show.
Steiner? I like him.
And I'm going to tell the world that Al Giardello was set up by the white banking establishment to run for mayor, then shot by them.
The bank shot Giardello?
Giardello gets popular. He gets shot. He dies. The city riots. The city goes up in flames. The smoke clears. The banks come in and rebuild the neighborhoods, shoving all the poor blacks out to the collar counties. The banks and the developers want all that land near the harbor. It's worth hundreds of millions.
The banks, huh?
If you think about it, the scary part is it makes sense. The banks, the multinationals, the real estate lobby. That's big money, Stan. Think about it.
When are you gonna let me reopen my cart? I'm dying here. I'm losing a whole day's receipts. I told you about the detectives 99 times already. I didn't see nothing.
And I told you 100 times you were lying.
Why would I lie?
Because you're afraid.
Me, no, I'm not afraid of nobody.
Yeah, you are. You're frightened. You're frightened of the guy who shot Al Giardello.
You're afraid that if he finds out you ID'd him, he'll come back shoot you too.
Listen, if you know anything, you should tell us. We'll protect you.
Yeah. Look, this thing goes to trial. I gotta testify. The gunman gets off, I'm dead. No thanks. Look, I got no reason to die for this goon Giardello.
Goon?
But legalizing drugs? Man, that's insane.
Listen, if you don't tell us what you know, that gunman is free and he is running the streets. If he hits his mark next time, if he kills someone, that's on you.
Yeah, well, guess what? I can carry that.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Hi, I'm J.H. Brody. I used to work with your dad at Homicide.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
Sorry. I was at D.C. at a film festival and I heard about the lieutenant. How's he doing? I brought him this giraffe.
Yeah, I can't get anybody to tell me anything.
I thought the ER doctors were supposed to be so caring and compassionate and all that crapola.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, nobody gives a tinker's damn.
How's the shooting at balloting on Tuesday?
Al Giardello will benefit from a sympathy factor.
Will this put you even further behind in the polls?
Well, the polls be damned, Dawn. A man's life is at stake. Now, Al Giardello and I may disagree on certain fundamental issues, but when a tragedy like this occurs, it is essential that we put these differences aside. No, I'm not here today as a candidate for mayor. I'm here today as a concerned citizen and as a friend.
Sir,
excuse me.
My dad hates this guy's guts.
How are you holding up?
I'm all right.
Good man.
Mr. Giardello, will you continue campaign as planned?
Huh.
I have to admit, white supremacists, I was thinking something a little more South Baltimore.
Trailer park. Broken down row houses, major appliance on the front stoop.
Exactly, not so...
Quaint.
Yeah, a little more either.
White trash.
said it, not me. You sure we got the right address?
Sure I'm sure. You ever know me not to have the right address? Don't answer that.
Can I help you with something?
When the very identity of this country as a white Christian nation is in jeopardy.
I'll tell you, I couldn't agree with you more. But in the words of Thomas Jefferson, and Timothy McVeigh once wore this on a t-shirt, the tree of liberty must be watered frequently with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. It looks like I'm about to interview two of Baltimore City's finest.
When I heard Giardello took a bullet, I admit, I thought, well, there's some damn justice.
Where were you this morning, Mrs. DeSassy?
Me? Right here, making love to my bottle of gin.
You always start drinking early in the morning?
Yeah.
No.
I don't start early because I don't stop the night before.
Maybe you should get some help.
Maybe you should shove this bottle where the sun don't shine.
You got anybody can vouch for your whereabouts this morning?
My next door neighbor, she was over here, mooching a toot.
We may need you for further questioning.
Hey, Ray and me, we was all each other had in the world. You cops killed him. Hope that Giardello dies and goes straight to hell. Only wish I had shot the bastard.
Have a good day.
Where were you around 8:15 this morning?
When Giardello got shot.
Yeah.
On the air. And when the good news came out across the Jewish-controlled mainstream media, we popped a bottle of genuine American sparkling wine and shared the glad tidings with our listeners across the country.
Across the country?
Well, we reached most of our followers by the internet.
You can verify that you were in the studio at the time of the shooting?
I'll play you the tapes.
Don't bother. You could fake that. You could be on the air and nowhere near this dump.
Then I'll make you a list of people who were in and out of the studio all morning and saw me in the flesh.
Yeah. Here's some paper. There's a pen. Knock yourself out.
Oh, I do wish we were on the air right now, so I could describe you all for the benefit of my audience.
Why's that?
Well, we talk all the time on my program about mud people. You familiar with the term?
Yeah, I am.
It's one of our favorite topics, along with the evils of race mixing. Just look at the two of you. Prime examples of both.
You gotta admit, they come a long way from the Grand Kleagle, birth of a nation, cross-burning days.
Yep, good old boys have definitely traded in their bed sheets for websites. Assuming he's checked out Miller's not G's shooter.
Yeah, he could have got somebody else to pull the trigger for him, though.
Or he might have decided it. The shooter ends up being one of his regular listers. Maybe we can tie Miller in.
Man, I'd love to tie him into something.
How many black nationalist groups are there in Baltimore?
Many. Shepard and Lewis still checking the area, Nangle?
Yeah. Baltimore, city of brotherly love.
That's Philadelphia. Call me crazy, but don't you think we should be switching with Shepard and Lewis? I mean, what's Gardy thinking anyway?
John?
Billy Lou?
I heard you were in town. Why didn't you come to see me?
Billy Lou, this is my old partner, Stan Bolander.
Pleased to meet you. I guess you have to eat your words about never coming back to Charm City.
When did I say that?
Maybe I need a cup of coffee.
I'm telling everybody I ran off with one of your colleagues.
Well, you know you're cops. They'll believe anything.
Who'd you have in mind? Stewart?
Stivers.
In your dreams.
Well, maybe I'll see you later. I see I got a lot of work to do now.
You know where to find me.
Is that the fourth ex, Mrs. Munchin?
Yeah. You think maybe I'm not cut out for the domestic life?
Okay. Guys like you and me, work is where we shine.
Work.
Excuse me. You in the right OR? Excuse me. This is OR 5 here, Doctor. 5.
development. Shots were fired moments ago inside the hospital. As you can see, QRT teams have been called in. They're being asked to do a room-by-room search of the building. Police are now moving everyone out of the hospital. It's not clear at this point whether this latest incident is connected with the shooting this morning of mayoral candidate Al Giardello.
So you saw this dealer at the rally this morning?
Yeah, man. Easy Eddie Mo. I know him all too well. Used to cop from him when I was at a game back in the day before I got clean.
Why would he be at a rally for Giardello?
That's what I'm saying. To take him down, maybe. Man, drug dealers are so flipped out by the idea of Giardello being mayor. Man, they're registering to vote.
Okay, so where can we find this, Mr. Mo? Whoa, baby, whoa.
You might want to talk to Bernie Weeks down at the Shiny Foil Lounge. You know, Eddie used to work for him.
Oh, wait, Bernie Weeks, wasn't he that dealer that we busted by mistake? We're looking for Manuel Renderos.
Oh, right. He wasn't our shooter, but he had 50 kilos of coke in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, now he's back on the street already.
Right.
How could something like this happen? We had officers posted on every floor.
Then how did the shooter get in?
You know, if I were paranoid, I'd say someone in the department was involved. I'm gonna forget you said that. Has QRT searched the whole building? Yes. We'll catch him. It's only a matter of time.
Hey, Mike.
How's my father?
They got another surgeon working on him. He didn't miss a beat.
And his surgeon? The one who was shot?
Second surgical team's cutting into him now.
We positive the two shootings are related? What are you talking about? Of course they're related. Maybe Dr. Williams has enemies. The shooter was after my father. We won't know for sure until we can get in there and investigate. And right now, our crime scene is still in OR.
Colonel Barnfather. He's not in there.
Damn.
He must have escaped when everybody was rushing out.
Let's get everybody back inside.
I always wondered myself why they just didn't do what he said. You know, kick the bottom out of the market by making the stuff legal, put me out of business like that.
So you're happy Giardello got shot?
No, I ain't say all that. I mean, it could backfire. What you call it? Sympathy vote.
You know what our next question is, don't you?
Do I got an alibi?
Yeah.
Maybe I should just call my attorney.
Oh! You don't need to lawyer up yet?
Oh, this is still friendly. You lawyer up, we got to put you in the system. Waste of time for all of us.
You homicide, right? You know anybody in narcotics?
Yes, absolutely.
You got any juice with Steve Fletcher?
I can talk to him, yeah.
Because if you could get that bastard off my back, I mean, he's camped out on my front stoop. My oldest daughter thinks he's gonna kill me. Just bust in the front door and grease me in my own bed. The stress is just aggravating her ass.
I'll speak to him.
I ain't do Giardello.
Well, how about your crew?
Them neither.
Wait. We got an eyewitness. Says the Easy Eddie was at the rally.
He don't work for me no more. See, he was spending too much time running his mouth about Giardello and not enough time bringing me to cash money. As soon as it happened, everybody thought the shooter had to be Easy Eddie.
Okay, so we'll give this to Gardy. And if this Easy Eddie Mo is the shooter, then he's in the win. I mean, you and I are never going to be able to find him. Not on our own. I could really use a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah, good. I'll be buying.
No, I can't. Cause a stroke.
Yeah. You know, for a minute, I forgot. For a minute there, it seemed like time hadn't even gone by. For a minute, it was 8 years ago. You know, Frank, I never told you how much I enjoyed having you as a partner. You know, how much I loved working with you.
You think maybe a cop shot G? A cop.
Why would a cop, one of us, want to shoot G?
I'm not talking about one of us. I'm talking about a cop with attitudes, prejudices, a redneck cop.
Oh, God knows there's plenty of those around.
A Gaffney. A guy who put in the time, walked the beat, he sees Giardello making the reach for power, decides to change history.
Yeah. It's a real interesting idea, Frank. Cops as killers.
Happens. Kellerman plugged Luther Mahoney. Still think some boy in blue finished off, Gordon Pratt.
Yeah, me too. Hey, you know, saying you're right, saying that some law enforcement officer shot Giardello, I mean, how do we find him? Where do we start?
I don't know. Needle in the haystack, Chandler. Let's go see how Ballard and Stivers are doing with that videotape. You know why I left Homicide?
Why?
Because I could not hear one more confession. I get sick of hearing people confess to me. Yeah. Like some Jesuit. I'd sit there in the box listening to some guy not only admit to having just killed someone, but copped all the other crap in his life that over the course of his life had led him to that point.
You would have made a great Jesuit, Frank.
I'm not going to sugarcoat reality for you. Internal damage, substantial. Your father was shot twice in the abdomen. One bullet pierced his right kidney and colon. The other missed the vital organs, but pulverized a rib. He's looking at several more operations to fully repair the colon and remove the damaged kidney, and the risk of peritonitis remains high. Recovery is going to take some time, but I think the long-term prognosis is good. He's a very strong man. His general health is excellent.
When do you think I can talk to him?
I don't know.
Well, that's refreshing. A doctor who doesn't know everything.
You're welcome.
Hey, I'm not thanking you. I have been here all day worried to death. I have big problems with the way this place is run.
I'm 2 under par in the 15th green with a 4-foot gimme, about to go to 3 under when I get beeped. I drop my club, I don't even take the shot. I got here, OR is a war zone, Kosovo on ice. Rather we held your hand or saved your father's life. Buds.
The gun. Where the hell is the gun? Right there. Pull it up.
This guy.
No, that guy.
You want to see what he's holding in his hands?
Yeah, do your voodoo.
Okay, see, he's holding something in his right hand.
Anything?
Maybe, look, he's definitely holding something.
No, it's a tape recorder.
A microcassette recorder.
Well, you guys got anything?
Yeah, maybe we got a drug dealer with a grudge, and we pass that on to Gardy.
How far into these tapes are you?
About halfway.
You mind if we sit in?
Not a problem.
Please.
help. Need some help. Get your hands up. Come on. Let's go. What?
I'm buying you breakfast.
What are you doing? Get back in bed.
I feel fine. Never felt better.
You've been shot twice. You shouldn't be out of bed.
I feel fine. Come on, let's go down to Jimmy's, get some scrappers with some funnel cakes with french sauce and chiffon on the side.
What?
That King Cole's Mario Soul. Mario Soul was here.
Wait, Pop. Are you sure you should be doing this?
My cholesterol is down. No, I'll risk it.
I don't mean having breakfast at Jimmy's. I mean checking yourself out of the hospital.
Don't ask, don't tell. I won't if you won't.
Pop, look, no, you're not making any sense. Why don't you lie back down and let me call a nurse?
That's what out is a rotten egg.
Mike?
Hello, Dr. Griscom.
Hi. Do you know Juliana Cox? She was my predecessor as chief medical examiner.
I'm really sorry to hear about your dad.
Thank you. We've been talking to his doctor. We've been getting the full story. His prognosis sounds promising.
Knowing G the way I do, I'm sure he's going to pull through.
Excuse me. I gotta take a walk.
Dr. Wesley, call on 1536. Dr. Wesley, call on 1536.
Hey, Mike, I'm gonna take your grandmother home. She's exhausted.
Oh, thanks, Megan. Get some rest. Stai tranquillo, non... Good job.
Hey, speaking of rest, you look like you could use some. Why don't you grab some nap time?
I'm a little too fired up to sleep.
All right, will you call me later?
Mike, they told me downstairs your dad's out of surgery.
Yeah, he's in ICU.
You hear anything from homicide? They catch the shooter?
Jeez, I've been so caught up here. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're all over it.
Yeah, but I want to go down there in a little while anyway. I have an idea I want to tell Guardia about.
I could go with you. Look, I know I'm not a cop anymore, and I know there's a lot of people who'd be just as happy never to see my mug again, but G was always good to me and fair.
Brody! Hey, I just filmed the triple bypass operation. It was awesome, man. Do you guys know that this is the very hospital where Edgar Allan Poe died of rabies?
It's news to me. Guess they must have remodeled.
Look, we're going to head down to headquarters for a little while. If my dad comes too, would you beat me?
Sure.
That kidney is definitely history.
It is amazing how effectively they treat gunshot traumas nowadays. Even 10 years ago, these bad boys would have been fatal.
The upside of automatic weapons, they've expanded the boundaries of medical science.
All right, talk about your silver lining. Wish I knew what caliber.
What's your best guess?
It's hot.
What?
I'm just not used to seeing a body still breathing.
So judging from the damage, the internal damage, the assassin was how far away when he fired, would you say?
15 feet, max?
Maybe as much as 25.
No, the injuries are much too severe for that. Much too severe for that distance.
I would love to get in there and really have a good look around. Not that I want him.
No, of course not. Know what you mean, though.
I'm sure you do.
When I first moved back to Baltimore, there were a series of murders in Little Italy.
Your cousin, right?
Mario.
Mario? It's Al.
Now, eventually, we caught and we convicted the two children of one of Mario's enemies, Carlo Roletta.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, maybe another member of Roletta's family is responsible for Dad's shooting.
It's possible.
Well, put one of your guys on it.
Maybe I'll put you on it.
Me?
Yeah. You know, the people in that neighborhood, they'll talk to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just a casual conversation between me and some old friends. You want to talk to me now? You want to talk to me now?
I want to know. No, he knows.
Mike,
He knows.
Mike, enough. Enough. Look, one of the things your father taught me was how to recognize a dead end.
Dead end?
Uh-huh.
And this is a dead end.
Michael. Michael. Get the guy who shot me.
No, not yet. But everybody's working every side of the equation, including Bayless and Pemberton.
Hamilton.
That doesn't smell like hospital food to me.
No, brought me some nookie. Huh. But the doctor won't let me eat any of it. Monday.
Grazie, but I wish I had known. I just finished whipping down some bad Chinese takeout.
Michael, because you became a policeman doesn't mean you have to eat like a dog.
Yeah, no, you've always said that.
When I went to Rome, we would sit down and they would have a 2-hour lunch with 3 full courses and a good wine.
That's why the Romans never get anything done.
But they knew how to live. That's important, Michael.
I hear you.
To know how to live in the little time that we have.
Okay. No more bad takeout.
Promise me.
I promise.
Randy.
Okay, that was Falzone, that day-old dead drug dealer, Yin Yang Hardwick.
What the Casey and Lewis picked up this morning?
Yes, the lab boys did a comparison of the slugs out of G and our dead dealer. Same gun.
Well, now, we have a witness that places a dealer named Easy Eddie Moe at the scene, and another dealer that says that Eddie had it in for G.
Well, maybe Easy Eddie shot Yin Yang, too.
Yeah, maybe he did.
You know what? Let's you and me go meet Falzone, see if we can help him out. Maybe there's a connection between this Easy Eddie and Yin Yang and G.
Fine by me. I can't look at these tapes another second.
Okay, back it up for me.
I was looking out of my kitchen window and I saw the man, clear as day, well-dressed, good-looking. Walked up the alley to that boy, that Yin Yang, spoke to him for a moment. I figured he was buying drugs. Then the well-dressed man took out his gun and shot that boy dead away.
What'd he look like?
Who? Which one?
The well-dressed man.
40 or so, gray at the temples, beard, glasses, distinguished.
Black?
Oh, yes. Blacker than you or me.
Sound like Easy Eddie to you?
Not much.
You watch these tapes of G getting shot over and over, frame by frame in slow-mo. Act itself stops being shocking.
That's the problem with the job. Things stop shocking you.
You know that murderer, Luke Ryland? One you said made me jumpy? Well, those women that he killed, those murders, they still shocked me. They angered me.
Good. Whoa, what's that? Go back.
See that? Wow. That's pop, 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 followed by a puff of white smoke, pow. Right here, just a wisp, right up.
Where?
Okay, hold on. Go forward. Okay, give it to me bigger. Okay. Daniels, cameraman. See that?
What could be? I just didn't see a gun. I mean, where's the gun?
YT, I don't know. Boom. But if this smoke is coming from a gun, then it's right next to the YT cameraman. Pow! You hear that?
You're saying the shooter was the cameraman from WYAT?
Maybe. Now, this is tape from Channel 11. See that? See that puff of white smoke?
Yeah, I see it.
It's with the pop, pop, pop.
Nothing showing him with the gun?
No. Of all the tape that we looked through, there's no gun visible from any angle.
You feel there's something to this?
Could be. Yeah. Frank and me, we'll go suss it out.
Yeah, well, Bayless, you go, but Pemberton, I think you should back off right now.
Right now?
It's not my decision. You saw I had my lunch handed to me for letting you take over that homeless guy. When Bayless called in the tip on the Easy 80 Mo, I knew you guys were working out there. I didn't say squat, but this is...
Okay, look, it's not like I ever had a lot of respect for you, okay? But what are you doing? Putting up with this nonsense from Gaffney.
I had to get off the street. I could smell it. I wasn't gonna last. I live with Gaffney and the rest of the brass because that's what this job is. I'm just a stooge, I know that. But it's better than being out there.
Al Giardello had nothing but respect for you. He stood up for you. For the rest of his men, covered our asses. And he didn't give a crap about Gaffney or anybody else because it was all about putting down the cases. So take a cue from G. See, you're heading a detective squad. And they're looking to you. Give them something. Or else walk the hell away.
All right, wait. Hope. Go over to YAT and find out who this guy is.
You've spoken like a champ. A true murder police.
Kiss my ass.
The guy you're looking for, his name's Eric Thomas James.
Okay, is he still on the job?
Oh, he was down at the hospital, but he's off now.
Well, we'll need his home address.
Hey, you have any idea what he thinks about Al Giardello?
I don't have a clue. I never heard him talk politics. I don't know anything about the man at all. He's a freelancer, works weekends mostly, evenings. He comes and goes. What can I tell you? He's a cameraman. He's removed. He sits behind his lens and observes people. Cameramen, they're all a little hinky, if you know what I mean.
Mr. James? Eric Thomas James?
Yes. Detective Bayless, Baltimore Homicide. This is my partner.
Frank Pemberton.
I suppose you better come in. Yeah. I've got some coffee here. Would you like some coffee?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll take a cup, sure.
I know it's late, but I don't sleep much,
Well, neither do I. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've been expecting you.
Why's that?
See, this is my boy's room.
Yeah, weapons in the house, Mr. James.
I don't have a gun.
Oh, we're just having a check.
So were you at the Inner Harbor this morning, Mr. James? And at the hospital?
I was working. But I'm gonna show you something, okay? It's my boy. It's my son, Tommy. No, look. He's got it all, He's got smarts and he's good looking and he's got girlfriends, and he's gonna make his mark. He's gonna leave his imprint on the world. He's just got his license, and me and the wife, we're gonna get a hold of a used car, for college.
And where is Mrs. James?
Who knows? She left. A couple of weeks ago, she just left. Buffalo. No, Buffalo. Hey, her sister, you know.
Sit down.
But I haven't called her, you know, and she hasn't. I don't have the energy. You haven't asked, but, yes. I shot that man this morning, Giardello.
Okay, Mr. James, we're gonna have to advise you of your rights.
My rights? I have the right to have things as they were 3 months ago. I play by the rules. I pay my taxes, I cut my lawn. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, right? So I don't deserve to have my son die.
Your son is dead.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why?
No one should have a child that dies.
Maybe you should tell that to all those big shots. You know, want to legalize drugs, give everybody the right to get high on whatever they want.
Okay, okay. You've admitted shooting Al Giardello?
Yes, I shot him. I wanted to kill him. But hey, why should I expect to be a sharpshooter, you know? And why should I expect my son go all the way into Baltimore, buy his dope, an OD, right on the street, and his friends? Why? Why did they leave him? Why'd they leave him on the street? They just left him there to die. 3 months ago to the day. This is how you live this room, you see? I'm sorry about the doctor, okay? I never meant that. And, I meant to shoot the drug dealer who sold my tummy the drugs, and that man Giardello because he was trying to legalize drugs. Because that's what I'm trying to stop, you see? I'll shoot whoever says it's okay. I'm just trying to save all those innocent kids.
I understand. Yeah. You know, I don't have any cuffs on me, Frank.
You don't need them.
Hey. He had the gun attached to the camera, which is why no one saw it. It's right here that he keeps the camera rolling after he shoots Chi. Although he neglected to turn the cassette into YAT.
We show this tape in court. Eric Thomas James is done. We got 2 counts of attempted murder, Giardello and Dr. Williams, 30 years each. Not to mention the spare change he'll pick up for killing the drug dealer. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I'll need you both to testify.
Yeah, we'll be there. I know how James feels. Gotta stop those that are gonna hurt the innocent.
James is a lunatic. Certifiable.
Son gets killed. He's gotta do something. Hey, say one of your kids gets hooked on drugs.
One of my kids what?
Gets hooked.
They wouldn't.
Well, just say that they did.
They're not going to. It's not gonna happen. Case closed.
So you have no sympathy for James for what he's going through?
James is trying to lay the blame on G because in his heart of hearts he knows that he's responsible for what happens to his kid.
I appreciate how he feels.
Well, you can appreciate it all you want to, Tim. But there's a line between right and wrong.
Yeah, well, you're the expert on that, Frank. Nothing lumpy about you. You know all.
The city looks clean tonight.
We can't all be you, Frank.
I think I want to take my wife out to dinner in the harbor.
Sometimes you can lose your bearings. Sometimes the line isn't so clear.
Of course the line is clear. There's good, there's evil.
You never shot anyone, did you?
No.
No. And you never would.
I never had to. I've been lucky.
Yeah. The righteous con. Line's always been clear to you.
Not always.
Time for one more confession, Frank.
Defendant is set free.
Confession.
I killed a man.
I'm not in the mood, all right?
Luke Ryland.
He's senior detectives.
Who?
I shot the bastard dead.
Good. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go.
No, I'm not kidding, Frank. I killed him.
Come on, Tim. You couldn't kill anybody.
Frank, he got off on a technicality.
Defendant is set free.
The bastard had to die before he went out and he murdered another innocent woman.
Don't screw with me. You kill this, whoever?
Luke Ryland.
Internal cleared you?
Frank, I'm saying that I hunted the bastard down, and when I found him, I blew his brains out. I executed him in cold blood.
And I'm saying internal rules this is a good shooting?
No. Internal doesn't know crap about me killing Ryland.
So you standing here and you telling me you killed somebody?
Yes.
In self-defense?
No.
Do you standing there with your weapon and it went off and you don't remember how?
Frank.
Because guns go off accidentally. Happens all the time.
There's no accident.
No, I'm saying this is an accident. For you to shoot somebody, it's got to be a mistake.
No. It's no mistake. No accident.
Tim.
Frank, you're a good cop.
I'm not a cop anymore.
No. You're always going to be a cop.
No. I'm a teacher. I teach a civilian.
No. I murdered this son of a bitch because he was a predator, Frank. He preyed on women.
Why are you doing this?
I put the gun right up to the mother's brain and I pulled the trigger.
Shut up! Just shut up! You put this on me. You son of a bitch.
In here, I know that I did right. But for here...
So you waited till I came back so you could, unload this? Unburden yourself? What's supposed to happen now?
You tell me.
I'm not bringing you in.
No, huh?
I'm not a cop. It's not official.
Oh, really? Now what are you gonna do, Frank? Not say a word? You're gonna keep my little secret to yourself?
Son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You murdered him.
I executed him, Frank.
Who's the primary?
Lewis.
You talked to him?
No, I came to you first. Who else would I tell, Frank?
But did you talk to Lewis?
About this case? No.
So nobody suspects you to shoot him?
No, man. I mean, what, they're gonna suspect me? Good old Tim Bayless, huh? The Zen detective. So you take me in?
I'm gonna take you in. Are you wild?
No. You'll take me in, Frank.
No.
Did I take a bullet for you?
No, cut it out.
Did I take a bullet for you or not, huh? Did I take a bullet for you? I take a bullet for you, and you take a bullet for me. Now that is square business, Frank.
It's not taking a bullet for you. This is you wanting me to toss your ass in the jackpot. You're confessing to a murder, Tim. Do you understand that?
So you want someone else should take me and someone else should bust me. Is that what you want?
No.
Then it has to be you.
No.
Listen, I thought about eating my gun, and I'm gonna eat that gun right now. If you don't do the right thing for me, Frank, for right here, I have no other option, Frank. Please.
So you thought about putting a gun to yourself?
Yeah, you'd be saving my life. I don't know for how long, but for now, at least you would.
I believe that you did not mean to do this killing.
Yeah, you believe what you want to believe. That's okay.
So we're gonna turn around right now. and we're gonna go back inside. Okay.
Put off the inevitable, Frank. It's gotta be what it's gotta be.
Son of a bitch.
If you absolve me,
Absolve you. I can't.
can't. That's remarkable. I mean, because I was certain that you could.
I think maybe Mary and I are gonna stay home tonight. Have dinner with the kids.
Thank you. I would like to make a toast, actually, to Al Giardello, too badass to die.
And to Bayless and Pembleton.
Where are Bayless and Pembleton?
Oh, come on, you really expect to see the notoriously antisocial Frank Pembleton here?
No, man. Bayless, who knows?
Yeah, really, who does know? What's up with that Bayless anyway? Is he pitching or is he catching?
Albert, who cares? Hey, I'm making a toast. It's bad luck not to finish the toast. Says me. So, to Bayless and Pembleton, who doggedly pursued the case despite interference from the bosses and brought the shooter to justice. And to new friends.
And old friends.
Pathological friend. Hey, you know, Louis, I really love this joint. Maybe I will be your partner.
What? You serious, man?
I'll sell you my third in a New York minute.
Not so fast. We're still married. I own half of your thing.
Camera. It's at the hospital.
So, what's the latest?
He died. Lieutenant Giardello died.
That's not funny, son.
Wasn't meant to be funny. Doctor said it was some kind of aneurysm. It was fast. And there was no pain.
No pain, huh?
That's what the doctor said.
Frank Pimpleton.
Mike Giardello.
I heard about G. I'm sorry.
Thanks for catching the man that killed my father.
Good at catching the bad guys. Caught me a couple tonight. A lot of people worked in the squad room over the years. A lot of them have died. Bo Felton got killed in the line of duty. Steve Crissetti committed suicide. To this day, nobody knows why.
Do you miss it? Homicide.
I don't know. It's not like you could escape it, you know. Death is every day. Death goes on and on and on.
And that's because life goes on and on. Hey.
G?
Felton. We've been waiting for you.
Crissetti.
Have a seat.
Okay. Jack of spades for Mr. Bo Felton, a 10 of diamonds for my esteemed lieutenant, and a whole lot of nothing for the little Italian salami brain.
What are we playing?
5-card stud.
Who's the fourth chef for?
We don't know yet. But they'll be here sooner or later.
Anybody I know?
Maybe. It's not like it's written in stone. It's not preordained or anything, Lieutenant.
I suddenly got worried. My son, he's a cop. I thought maybe.
I wouldn't worry, Lieutenant. Life is short, but once you're dead, you're a long time dead, if you know what I mean. Your son?
Michael.
He's a good kid.
Yes.
You taught him well.
I tried my best. I wish.
Gee. No regrets, huh?
You know what the best thing about this place is? All the worries and cares that you had in life, they don't matter anymore. Rest in peace means what it says.
Lieutenant, do you want a cup of coffee?
Coffee. Coffee would be good. You have any espresso?
No espresso. What do you think you're having? Sit.
20 to you, G.
I'm in.
Okay, we got one more card coming up here. We have another card there.
Who am I to